Hi everyone, this is Jean here from Authentic Energy. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about Herbalife postpartum nutrition plan. Okay, so in this video I'm going to be covering like which Herbalife products you can use, right? And which key products are very essential for women in their postpartum period, plus which Herbalife nutrition boosters, supplementations that are also very necessary and essential for the postpartum healing recovery time. Okay, and then together, how do we integrate these products into our day-to-day nutrition, and what would your typical, daily nutrition look like, right? So I'm going to presenting some of the basic information. So before you get started on your Herbalife postpartum plan, it is very important for you to take these 4 steps. Okay, so you're hearing this from me because, at the end of the day, like Herbalife nutrition products are great to give your body that nutritional boost, but also it is actually very important for you to understand, like, what your body needs right now. And also, everyone's postpartum body condition is different, right? So the first thing you have to do before you decide to, take the products or go on like a Herbalife nutrition plan is for you to consult your doctor. Talk to your, prenatal healthcare provider, OBGYN, your doctor, your family doctor, your physician, right? Have a chat with them and see what their suggestions are like for, your postpartum, recovery, right? And of course, get their okay as well. You can let them know that, you plan to take Herbalife nutrition, right? As part of your, daily nutrition, to supplement the nutrients and everything. Let them know as well. You can even, bring the labels of the products to show them, right? So I think this is actually a very important step. Okay, I never tell everyone to just blindly, like, get started on the products without, consulting the doctors and also without knowing, what your body needs, especially for women in the postpartum period. Why is that? That is because our bodies are so delicate, right? We've just gone through a whole battle where our body went under like a big injury, like really, whether if you had a C-section birth or if you had, a vaginal birth, which a lot of times, like more than 70% of the vaginal birth end up in some kind of tearing, right? So I had a bit of tearing myself too. So, like your body actually, has gone through injury. It's gone through such a big like experience, like, painful, and also, like a drastic, it's a very big, traumatic experience, right? So it is actually very important, in postpartum, your body is very special. So you have to like, talk to your doctor first, okay? See what is the best for you. And then, once you get your doctor's okay, that's, let's talk, right? Your second step will be speaking with an experienced Herbalife coach. Okay, I have to emphasize that it's not just any Herbalife coach, because I've noticed that, there are millions of Herbalife coaches out there, millions of Herbalife distributors out there, but not everyone has the experience and the knowledge of like health and nutrition, and also, health and fitness, and also women's health, right? So because we're talking about postpartum, right? So postpartum is not just like anyone's body that needs, I don't know, a nutrition help or nutrition improvement. Postpartum is actually a very delicate, a very sensitive and special stage in a woman's life. So it's important for you to find an experienced Herbalife coach with, especially it will be very helpful if that Herbalife coach has, also gone through like, childbirth and pregnancy herself, right? With the Herbalife nutrition experience. And also if she hasn't or he hasn't gone through, pregnancy or childbirth themselves, at least, they have worked with, women, who were, say, pregnant or postpartum, right? That really helps, right? So that's why I said the experience really help, right? Because what I don't want to happen is that, you find someone that gives you the products, right? But they really don't know what your body really needs for your postpartum period, right? So it's actually very important for a Herbalife coach with that postpartum and prenatal, postnatal knowledge, right? Like nutrition knowledge and experience to advise you, right? And also to, recommend the right products and the right nutrition plan for you. Okay, so if you guys don't know where to find that coach, right, you're looking at one right here. Okay, right. So I just got myself certified in prenatal and postnatal coaching. And also I am certified in women's coaching as well, women's health coaching. So I do have the experience and the knowledge that, for women, right, especially women in postpartum and prenatal period, right? So it's one of my biggest life missions to help, women out there, moms out there to get to their optimal health and body confidence. All right. So the third step, after you've talked to the coach, you like her style, you think, it sounds right for you, then you guys can like talk about, what your body needs right now. So the third step is to actually for you to understand what your body needs, because a lot of women in the postpartum period really have no idea like what to eat, what to do in order to, like heal the body, to, move the health, your body condition and your health forward. Because a lot of times we think that, we have to bounce back. And, a lot of women would like, in that mentality where everyone want to like hurry back, hurry up and lose weight, right? But I'll tell you this, weight loss is not a goal. I'll talk a bit more about it, stay tuned, in about 5 minutes, I'll talk a bit more about weight loss, right? So you have to understand, at this period, doesn't matter, where you are in your postpartum. When you find a coach, say if you talk to me, then I have to understand how long has it been post, birth, right? Are you in your first month? Are you in your second month, third, or beyond, or maybe more than a year, right? Because postpartum is not just limiting to women that have just given birth. Right. Postpartum, there's a saying, which I think is actually very true. Once you're postpartum, you're always postpartum. Okay. But don't interpret it with like with negative meanings in mind, right? Postpartum doesn't mean it's a bad thing, right? It basically just saying that once you're a mother, once you've given birth, right, your body basically is not the same because it has already given birth. It's actually basically grown a human being, and it's actually, push a human being out. We're talking about your body is, like a whole new body in a way, right? So it doesn't matter where you are, in your postpartum. It's important that you talk to, your experienced Herbalife coach and then work out, like exactly at this stage, what your body needs. And also, of course, taking into account of what your doctor has suggested, what your doctor says, what your midwife says, right? So that's very important, right? You have to understand firstly what your body needs right now, what your goals are, in terms of what is your postpartum goal, right? Like, how do you want to recover? How do you want to feel, right? And then fourthly, the fourth step is for you to get started. Right. You see, we have to go through like 3 steps before you before you actually really kickstart your plan, right? Because after understanding everything, after having the chat, get the doctor's okay, and then, this is where you, sit down with your coach and decide on the right package, right? So package of the bundle of Herbalife nutrition products, right? Together with the meal plan. Okay. So the meal plan might look different for everyone because everybody's body is different. Everyone's like, postpartum recovery looks different, right? So I'm going to show you guys an example, like a daily meal plan sample, but I don't want you guys to like just copy that because your body might be quite different, right? And also like, your breastfeeding situation might be different, and everyone's healing, everyone's body recovery, body change, or, like all these postpartum conditions is really different. So I don't want you guys to like look at, say, my experience or someone else's postpartum as like the standard or as something that you're like, okay, I gotta be the same. Okay. You have to focus on yours, right? Which is why it's important for you to go and talk to a very experienced Herbalife coach, someone like me. Okay. I'm not bragging, but I'm telling you that I have the experience. I have the certification, right? To like, basic to tell you that I have the actual, like the industry skills and the knowledge to advise the proper information for you, right? So after understanding about these 4 important steps, now it's important for you to know, like during your postpartum, what are the 4 key things you need to focus on, right? I know a lot of people might be like, I just need to focus on losing weight, but still be able to breastfeed my baby. Right? Write them in the comment below if you think that that's what you thought, your postpartum nutrition goals would be. Or, if if that's something that you have been through before, if that's been on your mind before. I know for a lot of women out there, new moms, apart from all the struggles and the challenges, all the chaos at the beginning, it's also like, kind of like the top priority, because we saw our body has changed a lot, right? The weight, the body shape and everything. So we just kind of like can't wait to, lose the weight, right? But also at the same time, we're like, hey, hang on, I need to breastfeed my baby, right? So those are the two things I think most new moms think about. But however, there are four things that are very, very important, because when you do these four things right, when you focus on them right in your first few months, or if you see them as a priority, this will actually help your your weight management later. Right. So your number one goal is to actually eat food that actually promotes healing and recovery. Okay. So basically this means that we have to pay attention to how much, nutrition is there in the food that we're eating, right? And what sources of like nutritional supplements we take, right? Like, so it's very important which nutritional supplements we take and what kind of food sources that we get that actually helps our body recover and heal, right? Whether if you've gone through a C-section, right, then it's a big surgery on your body. It's a big cut. Or if it's like, a vaginal birth, right, your body has still gone through that injury. It needs the recovery. And also not just those things, but also like internally, right? Like our organs have been squeezed, have been misplaced because of the big, growing uterus, right? So like, all these organs need to go back into place, right? And then that is actually part of the recovery as well. So it's very important what kind of food that we eat, right? That actually can help our body like recover and move the organs back to place and help with the tissue healing, right? So this is actually very important. And I actually teach about this in my postnatal program. Okay, you can hear a bit more about it later, right? So goal number 2 is to basically consume food that gives your body adequate energy and nutrients. So by saying that, okay, you know what I'm gonna say next. Do not restrict your calories. Do not restrict the kind of food that you eat, right? Of course, we want to eat a lot of like, nutrition balanced food, but I mean, we talk about this all the time, right? Whether if you're pregnant or not, whether if you're a mom or not, right? We should always be focusing on like nutritious food that gives you energy and nutrient. But during postpartum period, it is like super, super duper extra, extra important that, when we eat, when we feed our body, we can just go for something that's fast and like, with empty calories, like, fast food or chocolates and, the so-called junk food, that makes you feel satisfied at the moment, but they don't really give your body any nutrition and any like real energy. Right. And as new moms, oh my God, how much energy we need, right? And how much sleep we don't get, right? So it's very important to have, the nutrients and the energy from the right sources of food and nutritional supplements. Okay, so now goal number 3 is to eat food and be, and take, the right type of like hydration that promotes bowel movement, your bowel health, right? So some of you might be confused, like, why are we talking about bowel health here, right? Think about it. If you're a mom, if you have been through, childbirth before, did you have constipation at first? Right? It is so common, like most women, even during pregnancy, we have constipation. But in the first, especially the first month post childbirth, it is very common for a lot of women, most women, to experience constipation. Because like I said, our digestion system, our organs are moved, intestines and everything have actually been squeezed, right? Basically squashed by the baby, by the utero. So like, because they're not in the proper position. So, it actually really slows down the movement, the bowel movement, and also postpartum because of all the hormonal fluctuations, hormonal changes, right? And the inflammation inside our body post birth, right? It's actually all of these things contribute to the slower bowel movement. So it's very important for us to, like focus on food that's high in fiber and also, take enough, hydration, enough water to make sure that, we go to the toilet properly. We don't like accumulate, like toxin in the body, right? So imagine if you don't go to the toilet, if you don't, eliminate waste from your bowel for days, all that sitting in your body, it's not going to be comfortable, right? And it doesn't really help your body from like healing and bouncing, like the organs bouncing back into position, right? So that brings me to the next goal, right? Goal number 4 is to stay well hydrated, right? I mean, not only that it will help with your bowel movement, but also for breastfeeding moms. I know not everybody breastfeeds, but I know a lot of us do choose to nurse our babies, right? If you are breastfeeding your babies, you know that you have to be well hydrated, right? Because if you're thirsty, if you're dehydrated, then your body naturally doesn't produce much, milk supply for your baby, right? Because the milk really does come from the liquid, how much hydration you have in your body, right? But not only the water, right? Remember goal number 2, consume adequate energy and nutrients, right? So how nutritious your food is also determines, how much milk supply and the quality of your milk for your baby, right? So for these 4 goals, right? Now, after looking at these 4 goals, I hope you guys have a kind of a clear understanding of, okay, where your focus should be during postpartum, okay? And I did not mention anything about weight loss here, okay, right? So if you do these 4 things right, it can also help you with your breastfeeding, like, your milk supply, and also it will help you with your mood as well. It can really help you, like prevent having the baby blues or the depression. Okay, so moving on, let's take a look at, some of the key products that I personally recommend, like my personal recommendation based on my experience and also, my coaching knowledge. Okay, so the key products here, key products meaning that you have to get them. They're like your minimum baseline thing, So key products basically gives your body the, the nutritional, like supplementary boost that you need, like the wholesome nutrients your body need, the vitamins and the minerals, right? The essential vitamins and minerals your body needs as a new mom, right? So we're looking at things like the Formula One shake, the aloe vera for the hydration and helps with the digestion and the bowel movement as well. And then the protein, okay, we need protein because why? Protein helps our body recover and repair the tissues, okay, the tissue damage from the C-section surgery or just natural birth, right? And multivitamin, I cannot stress enough about multivitamin, right? Like postpartum, in my first pregnancy, my first postpartum, I continue. Like I took prenatal multivitamin during my pregnancy, but after I gave birth, I started right away on the Herbalife multivitamin mineral complex because I know that my body needs all that, a multivitamin, boost, right? And then Herbalife line, the omega-3. Okay, you can watch my video which I made talking about the benefits of taking, Herbalife line, right? And also for postpartum moms, Herbalife line, the omega-3 essential fatty acid helps our body with recovery, and also it really it is a type of anti-inflammation type of source, right? So when our body is going through so much inflammation, Herbalife line omega-3 really helps combat the inflammation in the body, but also healthy fats, right? The essential fatty acid really helps with our breast milk, right? And also helps with our skin tissue, skin elasticity, and also, just the whole body tissue recovery, right? So this is actually essential. That's why I have to put omega-3 in the key products here. Okay, now you see that I have this product called New Mom on the right, which I separated from the big bundle because this product is amazing, but it's only available in the US. So if you are based in the US, you are able to get this. Okay, so it's good news for moms in the US, but however, it's not launched in any other countries just yet. So if you're in the US, I'll say, definitely get get New Mom, because it's designed to be something you can add to your shake in the morning, but also it contains all the essential vitamins and minerals that a new mom needs, right? So I really love it because it's specially designed for what moms need, like new moms need, right? So it's actually very amazing. I feel that, rather than taking the generic multivitamin, you have one that's actually specially designed for your body, right? So if you're in the US, you're a new mom or, mom in the first couple of years of postpartum, right? Take this. Okay. So these are the key products. So apart from the key products, right, you can also have some boosters, right? So it really depends on, your individual situation, right? I think not everyone needs all of these, right? Maybe some of you would need all of these products, but not everybody would need all of them. So when I do the personalized nutrition, package, I usually choose from, the bundle boosters here and also the key nutrition together to put together the right nutrition bundle for the individual needs. And on top of that, and a meal plan, right? So I just want you guys to know. And the boosters, some of the common boosters that I recommend for new moms are like skin collagen, okay, extra cal, the calcium booster, the active fiber complex, and also the protein bar. Okay, so we need a collagen. I know everyone loves it, but actually collagen is also very important in postpartum because it really helps the body recover. It helps the skin and everything basically trying to repair and bounce back, right? And then the extra calcium is really essential for women, especially for breastfeeding moms, right? Because we are giving away so much nutrient to our baby, right? Through the breast milk. So it's actually very easy for new moms to lose calcium from our bones, right? Because we're actually passing them to our baby. So it's very important for, moms to actually have that calcium replenishment, right? But there is calcium in the multivitamin already, but it depends on everyone's situation, right? Some people may need extra calcium replenish, so that's when you can take the extra cal supplement on top of multivitamin and everything else you take, right? And then there's the active fiber complex, really helps. This really helps with the bowel movement, right? And lastly, the protein bar, right? Protein bar simply gives you, like as a good option for snacks, which is protein based, right? You can also choose from all the other protein snacks that Herbalife has, such as like the beverage mix or the protein bites or the soy nuts. What else? There's coffee, but I'll speak about coffee in a second, right? So there are a lot of different choices, but as I mentioned, when I do the packaging, I choose from these key products and the boosters usually. Okay, now I'm gonna give you guys a kind of a sample of what a daily meal plan would look like for a postpartum mom. But just keep in mind that this is just an example. It does not represent something that you may need exactly, right? You can take this as a reference, but however, if you want to know what will work the best for your body, right, during postpartum or as a new mom, right, it's better for you to consult. You can reach out to me, right? We can have a chat, then I can work out something for you. And then, that will be more accurate. But here, I want you guys to take a look at this as a reference, right? So a typical daily meal plan would look something like this. You start with your Herbalife breakfast, right? Because you need all that extra nutrients. And plus boosters, right? So whether if it's like Herbalife line omega-3 or multivitamin, you take them after the meal, right? But I do want to mention that for some moms, right, they may need something extra. They may need to eat some extra food on top of that, which is completely okay? Because I know a lot of breastfeeding moms may feel quite hungry a lot because you're constantly like pumping or breastfeeding. I've been there, I know. I was constantly hungry when I was breastfeeding. So if you feel like, just having the breakfast, the aloe and also the shake is not enough, then definitely add extra things on it. Like you can have avocado and eggs. What else? You can have some like yogurt on top of it, right? That's what I did actually. And you can check out my video right here where I basically show you guys what I ate, what I personally had during postpartum, right? I constantly would add 2 eggs on top of my breakfast shake, right? So now some of you probably noticed that there's no tea here. I did not suggest the tea. I usually talk about aloe tea and shake. How come there's no tea? Well, that is because during your postpartum, especially if you are breastfeeding, right, we do want to be very mindful of the tea consumption, right? And it's completely safe to drink tea or coffee during, while you're breastfeeding, but it's also important for us to be mindful of how much caffeine from the tea and the coffee that we take, right? So for that reason, I'm like, you know what, just to make things simple, let me just remove the tea from the postpartum package. But of course, for some of you who really need to have your tea or your coffee, then, we can talk about, personalizing your package, and also I can give you suggestions of when is a good time to drink it and how do you drink it, right? So for that reason, I don't want to include the tea here, right? And snack, we all need to have snacks because we get hungry so easily, so it's best to choose like protein based snack. All right, so something like a protein bar, which gives you 10 grams of protein, right, just in that nice little bite, right? Or you can opt for other Herbalife protein snack options, right? Or you can have eggs, or what else, like yogurt and nuts, right? So it really depends on your lifestyle, right? And then you have your lunch, okay? So for food, you have to eat, okay? Like I said, don't try to restrict your food and your calories. It's very important during this time that you eat well, okay? Because when you eat well and nutritious food, the nutrient goes to your baby, right? Especially if you're breastfeeding. If you're not breastfeeding, then you still have to eat well, because it really, really comes down to your body recovery, right? Like the more nutritious your food is, right, the faster your body recovers and heals, right? And I actually do suggest women, like moms, postpartum moms, to like avoid eating like salad, like uncooked vegetables for like the first month. So try to cook all your vegetables, right? Have more warm and cooked food, and also food that is like not too hard to digest, because especially in the first month, your digestion system is still very weak, right? So if you're eating something that's very hard to digest, you will have trouble like digesting and also like eliminating. So that's why I put some examples of food that's more like looking more like Asian type of food here, because a lot of the Asian food is like really cooked, like steamed or cooked, or like lightly pan fried, right? So it's very important to do that. You can check out my video that I made before in terms of like more details of the type of food that you can have, like what to eat, what to focus on, what to avoid, right? But for today's video, I'm not going to go into details, because we're focusing on how to like integrate the Herbalife products into our daily meal plan, right? So just here, I just want to quickly mention, like, focus on high protein, high fats, high fiber, right? Warm cooked food, and that's easy to digest, okay? And don't try to avoid eating too much salad in your first month postpartum, right? And then of course, with your boosters, usually we take boosters 2 to 3 times a day, and we usually take them after the meal. So you take your booster after your lunch. And of course, if you feel hungry, again, between lunch and dinner, you can take a shake, or you can take a protein bar. And in here, I have to mention after nursing or after pump, right? So for breastfeeding moms, whether if you directly nurse or you pump, it's very important after we do that, right? Because we're giving away so much liquid and nutrient to our baby. We need to replenish, put the nutrients back into our body. So what do we do? And what did I do? I had a shake, right? So the easiest, the fastest way is to make yourself a shake from the Formula One and also from protein, right? You can just do 2 scoops of each, mix with water or mix with like, I don't know, nut milk or milk, right? You can just make a very simple one, right? And then down it. Or if you are short of time, make a very quick one, just F1 shake, or just the protein, right? So have a shake to really replenish, like what's being lost, what's being given away, right? You have to put it back into your body. So it's very important. And, you don't have to have a shake every time, you nurse, or every time after you pump, right? Because, it's going to be crazy. Maybe some of us do need to have multiple shakes a day to replenish, which is okay, right? But really just get a good feel of your body. So when I work with my postpartum clients, we usually do like a little observation for a week, and then we adjust, okay, like how many shakes we drink in a day to help our body with breastfeeding to help our body with recovery, right? So everyone's situation is different. Some women need like multiple shakes, some women just need like 2 shakes, right? So it's all different, and you have to talk to your coach, right? And then lastly, dinner. Make sure you eat your dinner, right? Like don't skip dinner. And of course, same as lunch, focus on, cooked vegetables, high protein, high fats, high healthy fats, okay, not trans fat, and easy to digest kind of food, right? And of course, I put it down here for women, postpartum women, doesn't matter if you're breastfeeding or not, we should aim for 3 liters of water a day. Okay, remember that. Of course, your water can also come from fruits, it can come from different vegetables, right? But if you are able to drink plain water, like that's pure plain water, 3 liters a day, that would be optimal, right? Like for your body recovery and for breastfeeding. Okay. As I mentioned, like today, I'm not talking about what kind of food that you should eat and, all that aside from Herbalife products. But I do want to emphasize that, it's important for you to know what type of like food to avoid or to consume in minimum during postpartum. So the first thing I have to mention is try to avoid skipping meals and calorie restriction. This is not the time, okay? And it should never be time. There should never be a time that you actually feel like it's essential for you to skip meals or calorie restriction. Even during like your weight management period, okay, which we'll talk about in another episode, like postpartum weight loss, right? That we should not skip meals and calorie restrict. Okay, so this is like a no for sure. Okay, and secondly, avoid consuming too much caffeine. Now, what's too much, right? So the suggested standard is consume up to 200 milligrams of caffeine a day. Okay, so that caffeine can come from coffee or tea, right? So this would look like if you were to consume Herbalife herbal tea, it would look like roughly 2 cups, no more than 2 servings of the herbal tea a day, which is pretty reasonable, right? And then alcohol consumption. Alcohol consumption is actually okay, but I say try not to consume it mindlessly, meaning that especially if you're breastfeeding mom, right? Then you have to really time it so that you don't actually give your baby the alcohol, because the alcohol, small traces of alcohol can actually go into your breast milk, and then that can go to your baby, right? And we don't want the alcohol to go to your baby because that can actually do some harm to your baby's growth, right? So it's very important that if you do want to consume alcohol, talk to your doctor and see what your doctor suggests, right? And I know that, scientifically speaking, it's better to, wait for 2 hours, okay, after you consume alcohol. Wait for at least 2 hours before you breastfeed, or if you do have to consume the alcohol after you have breastfeed your baby, right? So this is the rough guideline, but I'll say, if you can try to avoid it, I like to take that approach, unless, you're like, I really, really need it, right? Then you have to time it. Try to avoid food that's high in sodium and sugar. Try to avoid artificial coloring, right? Because these things, can actually directly impact your body recovery, right? And also your breast milk. And lastly, raw, cold, and hard food. Try to avoid those in the first month postpartum. As I mentioned that, it's actually not friendly for your digestion, right? Raw, cold, and hard food. But also like raw food is actually not great for your body's recovery, right? So this is something to remember. And then lastly, I have to mention this, food sensitivities. Really look out for allergies and food sensitivities, because especially if you breastfeed, your babies, get everything from you, right? And sometimes our babies could like react to certain food, like, they may have some weird allergy rashes, right? And if you notice that in your baby, right, after breastfeeding them, then it's actually time for us to really look at, what's in the food that we take, and then try to avoid certain like, common allergens such as like eggs and dairy, what else, wheat, nuts, soy sometimes, right? So have a look at, the potential allergens in your diet, right? If you notice any kind of like allergy reactions in your baby. Okay, so this is something that's very important. Now, let's talk about weight loss. Okay, I'm not going to go into full details, but I do want you guys to know the key things, right? Based on my experience here. Now, a lot of you guys want to know when can I start losing weight? How soon can I start losing weight, right? Now, the weight loss, how, like, how your body changes and how fast you can lose the weight and how, like, you manage the expectation for weight loss is different for everyone, right? Like, as I mentioned, that your body went through such a traumatic experience, it needs time. Your body needs time to recover first, right? And also the recovery journey varies for everyone. Some people may need just, I don't know, a month or two, right? 6 weeks to recover, then they can start losing weight, or the body naturally start to lose weight already, right? And then that, of course, can make a lot of people panic and go, how come this person lost all the weight in under 2 months after baby, but then it's already been a year for me and I still haven't lost any weight, right? So this is where I want you guys to put the focus on healthy recovery first, right? Like I always tell my clients, if you have the chance, if you give your body the chance, the opportunity to really heal and recover, right, this will actually give you a much higher success rate, right, for your body to manage the weight much easier later, right? Which means healthy recovery, right? A healthy holistic recovery can actually give you easier weight management later, right? So later meaning that doesn't matter if it's after several months or after half a year or weeks or I don't know, a year or two. But when you have taken the time, when you have paid like close attention to how your body heals and recovers after giving birth, then it will actually make your weight management a lot easier. Okay. And I put body reset here is because, like, based on my tradition, Chinese tradition, and the Eastern wellness philosophy, that when a woman gives birth, when she has gone through the childbirth and during the post-birth recovery, this is actually the woman's chance to give her body a reset, right? So it's a body energy and a physical body, reset. So this is actually good news, right? This is good news for moms, for new moms. When you're like, in the period, the initial period of postpartum, right? When you're actually paying good attention, close attention to your health, your overall well-being, your recovery, your healing, your nutrition, right? You are actually giving your body that reset, right? Who doesn't want to reset? Press the button and our body is like, brand new again, right? So the reset basically means that if you are giving yourself the chance to have a really good postpartum recovery, then your body will actually become stronger, okay, stronger, healthier, and you may have some kind of like conditions before, but if you focus on your postpartum recovery really well, some of the conditions may go away, they may improve, right? I can't guarantee, but it has been like really proven in a lot of cases that I know that a lot of people become healthier. They weren't as healthy before, the childbirth, but they had such an amazing, holistic and healthy postpartum recovery. So as a result, their body health actually became better. They become healthier, stronger, and actually fitter and more confident actually after the postpartum recovery. So as a result of that, right, they're able to, basically shed off like the baby weight a lot easier, right? So this is something I want a lot of, mamas and women to know about, that, like we shouldn't really be obsessed with the postpartum like the weight loss right away, because the emphasis should be on the healthy recovery first, right? When you do the recovery well, this will actually ensure that, your weight loss journey, like your postpartum weight loss, will be a lot easier. Okay, so this is something I have to mention, and I hope you guys, remember this. Okay. Now, I know a lot of you guys are just puzzled about like how you can work with me and how can I actually help you put together a postpartum package, right? And this is where I would like to invite you guys to come and join my Mama Glow. It's a brand new program I just launched, and it is a pilot program right now. So if you join us before May 1st, you will actually receive a big discount. And in the Mama Glow, 4-week program. It's a nutrition and healthy lifestyle program for moms only. So it doesn't matter, where you are in your journey as a mom, you're welcome to come and join this, right? You don't have to be a brand new mom, right? You can be a mom that's, you've been a mom for many years. You can also join us, right? So if you're still struggling with your, post baby weight, or you're struggling with like your personal well-being, your over nutrition, and you're feeling isolated and unsupported, right? And also, of course, the body image issues. If you feel like you're still struggling with that, this is actually the perfect group for you. Okay, and the Mama Glow program also comes with a personalized package of Herbalife products for your body and your body needs, and we do the coaching in 4 weeks. So every week you will receive a live coaching session with me, right? And this will be done in the groups setting on Zoom, right? And you also will receive a nutrition guide and also a journal, right? And together with a private accountability group as well, right? So I'm doing a very special right now. It's only going to be for the for the month of May in 2023, that when you enroll, you'll also receive an extra bonus one-to-one coaching session with me, right? A private coaching session with me, 45 minutes, right? So this is a bonus I'm throwing in here. Okay, so this is your chance to enroll. You'll find the link in the description below after the video. Just click on it and you can directly enroll and get your big discount for the pilot program. Okay, so I look forward to having a lot of you guys come and join us in Mama Glow, and I actually look forward to meeting a lot of mamas here. I know a big portion of you on this channel watching right now are mamas, right? So of course, if you have any questions, write them in the comment below, or you can just reach out to me directly on my Instagram or Facebook. Instagram is much better. I answer a lot faster. Authentic Energy, that's me, right? And yes, for sure, if you're new here, of course, click the subscribe button, notification bell, so you know when I'm, here again next. I'm usually here every Wednesday and Saturday. Okay, so I hope today's video is helpful and has a lot of good values for you guys, right? And I know that it's not easy for postpartum journey, and it's not like a one size fits all kind of formula, right? But I hope that this video has provided some basic understanding for you to have a whole new take on what is postpartum recovery, right? And what is important for your body during postpartum as well, right? So it is my absolute pleasure to be here to give you the best information to help you enhance your personal well-being, your body confidence, and your lifestyle, right? Until next time, take care, everyone. Bye.